Thank you very much, and thank you, Natalie, for mentioning all the benefits with breathwork, because that is something we're going to discuss. Breath as a remedy for stress and burnout. My name is Lisa. I'm a certified breathwork facilitator and coach. I'm a former finance professional. I've worked at DNB, PVC, Grant Thornton, and I've been burned out. So there's a lot to talk about. And I would like to start with a maybe bold statement. A leader's most important strength is not endurance, but the ability to regulate stress in themselves. Oh wow, in your brain. What does it actually mean? And imagine that you are in a place where it is a high work, and then we often think of stress as that we have too much to do, so we can just delegate some tasks. And then everything is fine again. But actually, we can see that stress and a further consequence, burnout, is often a lack of regulation. We don't know how to regulate ourselves. We don't know how to deal with emotions that come up. So we just put them down. And then again. And this often takes years. So years of build-up tension in the body, years of build-up stress, and someday, this bomb is going to explode. And thereby, we have leaders themselves who are people. They experience this as well. But it also functions as a role model for others, for their team. So that's why I state that the leader's most important strength is the ability to regulate themselves. Because when they regulate themselves, when they know how to handle stressful situations, they know how to regulate the nervous system through breath and other practices, as you mentioned, yoga. Then we can create something called safety. When we have safety in a team, we see the science is pretty clear about it. We lower the stress levels in the whole team. Because, as someone mentioned earlier on as well, we are all connected. And we, as a team, are all connected. So that means my nervous system is connected to the other nervous system. And it means we have a direct influence on the performance of the team. And emotional regulation is at the core of stress prevention. And this may sound a little hoo-hoo, but you can think of it as the breath. It's a tool we all have every day. We're breathing right now, I hope at least. And the breath is like the fastest way to tell our body that we're safe. So when we're taking a deep breath, we're signaling to our body that we're safe. And safe people can avoid to burn out. So when we create a gap between action and reaction, we have time to do things in another way. So instead of just reacting, we can take a pause, observe our breath. Maybe it's very shallow. Could we get it a little bit more down into the belly? Maybe not. But could we do something called physiological sigh? I don't know if anyone is familiar with that, but there is some science saying that when we are, for example, in elevators, and we find it very, very scary to be there, we do something automatically called a physiological sigh. And this is when we breathe in 2 times and breathe out 1 time. So it would look something like this. And when you do this 3 times, you signal to the nervous system that everything is okay. You can relax your shoulders, and things become a bit easier to react on. And you may wonder, okay, it's all good. I have my breath, I'm breathing right now. But what can I do as a leader for performance? We have to make sure to check in before meetings and demanding tasks. And with that, I mean check-in sounds maybe a bit weird, but with that I mean that if you're running from a meeting to another meeting to another meeting, your breath is often up here. You're not checking in with yourself and you're just running around like a chicken without a head. And that's why it's so important to take just 1 minute at the start of every meeting, checking in with yourself, feeling your butt on the stool or on the chair you're sitting on, and just feeling how you feel in your body right now. Taking a couple of deep breaths, and just checking in with the rest as well. Maybe you see that someone has high shoulders. Maybe you could tell them to just take a couple of deep breaths, as this could actually change the way the meeting goes, the performance of the meeting. So I would argue, you as a leader, you have a role. It starts and ends with you. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them.